Hey nerds, welcome to JerAwards. Today we have our Season 2 recap of Teen Wolf. If you're new to the channel, what we do at the end of each of our major shows is we recap the entire season. Luckily, Teen Wolf's a lot shorter, so these videos are usually shorter. Basically just a soft recap from each of the episodes. I take a little bit of notes. After that, we have something called the JerAwards, which will do our favorite episode, favorite scene, most heartbreaking scene, funniest scene, favorite kiss, favorite kill, favorite quote, favorite character, least favorite character, and then an update on our seasonal rankings and finale rankings, and then an in memoriam for all those that we lost. Teen Wolf so far is a show that doesn't have a lot of deaths through the first 2 seasons, and doesn't have a lot of kisses, man. Not a whole lot of none of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into this. If you are new here, feel free to subscribe for daily content. If there's a day, there's a reaction. Links are in the description box down below for the Patreon, the Twitch stream, and everything in between. If you want to watch the videos unedited, they are on Patreon. And kicking off Season 2, that light is so bright and this screen is so bright. We gotta stay focused. All right. You ready? I'm ready. Soft recap, here we go. We start the season. Jackson coming up out of the water, showing he's been bitten, but he struggles with black ooze pouring out of him as his body is rejecting it. We saw something similar with Lydia in the shower as she wandered into the woods butt-ass naked. We get introduced to Isaac, aka Caleb/Cole from the originals. Scott was told off by Chris in a flashback, and during Kate's funeral, we get introduced to Gerard, who kills a homeless, packless wolf known as an Omega. Gerard somehow weasels his way into being principal. Isaac, well, I mean, they bullied the one dude out. They zapped him to death. I guess they just hired anybody. Isaac's dad is murdered, but, by who we thought was Isaac, but really it's just some reptile-looking thing that also attacks Allison on a full moon, but Scott saved her. Jackson recorded himself overnight thinking he was going to turn into a wolf, but nothing happened. The footage was edited. I love that word. Edited. It's like a chain gun. Edited. So fucking stupid. We get introduced to Erica, a girl with epilepsy, who Derek turns, as well as Boyd, as a kid at school who had no friends who also turns. Lydia spent most of episode 3 hallucinating about Peter. Jackson got a brief moment where he had some strength, but that's really it for episode 3. In episode 4, after a big win at the lacrosse game, after they broke every rule for high school athletics, by the way, Boyd was just sitting up in the stands like, you want to play? And he was like, yeah, I can fucking get out there and do it. And then he didn't play ever again. That's illegal. Scott has to survive another dinner with the Argents thanks to Gerard. They go looking for the bestiary that they can't find until Allison realizes it's on a USB drive. Stiles has his little moment with Lydia before getting caught by the lizard, who paralyzes Derek, leaving the two trapped in a pool. Foreshadowing, I mean, the lizard doesn't like water, but it kind of foreshadows about how the lizard actually operates. Once Scott shows up, the lizard sees its own face and runs off. It's known as a kinema. It doesn't know who or what it is. And I'm going to take a second to pause here because I love when you can tell the people are new. There's no knock on you guys, by the way. So many people were like, it's an enema. It's a kinema, not an enema. Like, why do you keep saying enema? It's a kinema. I know you're new here. It's an enema. It's known as an enema. Episode ends with Grandpa Gerard revealing himself to know what Scott is by stabbing him. This is also important. It's the moment Scott realizes something about him. Scott fails to mention this to Allison. That moment never actually happens. Derek and them try to use reptile poison on Jackson, but it paralyzes him. So they move their attention to Lydia because a snake can't be poisoned by its own venom. After she fails to be affected by it, they opt to kill her. The gang tries to protect her, and Jackson even kissing her. But in the moment, we see scales on his back. Jackson is our kinema. Lydia, confused by everything, gets no answers. Derek, Scott, and Stiles track Jackson down at a gay club, and he was haunting Danny, who just finished the rendering on the tablet. Stiles locks up Jackson, trying to convince him he's in danger. Jackson turns and escapes his holding cell in the van. They realize they need to tell the adults for more help. As Stiles goes to talk to his father, we see Jackson already with his father, who is a lawyer, because of course Jackson's dad's a fucking lawyer. A restraint order is filed, and Scott's mom thinks something is wrong with her kid, maybe drugs, and later finds out that he's been clapping cheeks. Professor Harris is pseudo-revealed to be the master of Jackson. as he attacks the group. So we thought. This causes Scott to go to Derek for help. He also helps out Erica, who was injured. He told him he would go after Jackson as a part of Derek's pack, but they have to do it his way. Lydia had a whole thing with a creepy boy who turned out to be fucking Peter, by the way. I hated every bit of that. I didn't like the creepy boy. It turning out to be Peter was okay, but still it was all very creepy. The old alpha, right? Who she sees all the time. And kind of a fake makeout with. I guess she made out with nothing. She was just standing there, just literally, I just imagine that her ass was just standing there like this, just. This is how people kiss, by the way. So they were just fucking, she was just standing there making out with fucking nothing. Anyways, that's the wrong, I lost my recap. I got it back. Scott and Derek and his pack and the Origins separately try to capture / kill Jackson at a rave. They get him subdued for a minute, but then the Kinema stays and the Kinema says everyone that they have killed was a murder. Who do they kill? Him. So whoever controls the Kinema died before. Allison's mom tries to kill Scott before Derek saves him. The vet warns of something more evil coming, but the group has too much on their plate at the moment. Episode 8 ends with a closing shot showing Derek bit Mama Argent. This is really weird because her wound seems deep, and JerAward insists she basically kill herself rather than be a wolf. Lydia talks to Ghost Peter about the worm moon, a way for rebirth. At her party, she spikes a drink. Everybody hallucinates. Allison sees herself in full-fledged Argent mode. Styles sees his dad blaming him for his mother's death, and Scott sees Jackson with Allison. Allison also sees the photos on Matt's camera that eventually leads to the reveal of Matt being the Kinema's master. Lydia knocks out Derek with some dust and brings him back to almost died and brings him back to his house and attaches him to Peter's corpse. Thanks to the moon, his alpha power was stripped. Peter's alive. Cross that statement out. False. Derek's still an alpha. They did a whole fake out there that Peter did not get that power back. He just came back to life. Also, Mama Argent died. Very sad. I don't care. In the police station, they get all the evidence they need for Matt, who shows up with the Kinema and locks up Papa Styles and paralyzes Styles and Derek when he arrives. Whole fake out thing of his mom, blah, blah, blah. But then his mom actually shows up. It's a whole thing. Matt gives a backstory of how he almost drowned once and the trauma led him to kill motherfuckers. And from that day, you know, and people he just, woe is me type story. I had a little bit of sympathy for him, but boy went off the deep end. Allison, fueled by vengeance, teams up with her family to go kill Derek. Scott reveals that he's been giving JerAward all the info he needs as Derek listened on. Derek, still alpha, fought the Kinema to a draw basically. Scott had to reveal his wolf side to his mother trying to save her. As Matt runs away, he runs into JerAward, who drowns him in a fucking pond. How poetic. He didn't drown the first time. He didn't drown at Lydia's party. Third time's a charm, brother. Then JerAward forms a bond with Jackson as Peter looks on. On episode 11, state championship time, JerAward tells Scott if he doesn't give up Derek by the 30-second mark in the game, someone will die. Boyd and Erica, they want a new pack and they try to leave, but it was just an audio recording from Allison and her father. She tries to kill him, but Chris reminded her they're only there to capture them. Allison seems to be more on her grandpa's side. Derek and Peter duke it out. Derek beats the shit out of him, actually. And Peter drops some hard truth bombs on him about being a failure as an alpha. Styles pops off in the game, by the way, scores 3 straight goals to help his team come back from being down 9-7. They win 10-9, win the state title. Scott doesn't give up Derek, so we see Jackson killing himself. As it appears that JerAward has taken Styles, which he did. Styles sees Boyd and Erica tied up, and JerAward comes down there and beats the shit out of Styles to send a message. Papa Styles, worried sick, is calling everybody that his son's missing until Styles appears on screen. They hug, super emotional. Lydia shows up and opens up about the two, and the two share a moment. Jackson, who he thought was dead, is making a cocoon of sorts with his fucking saliva. Peter reveals he's turning into something more dangerous, with wings. Chris picks up on the fact that they are working into JerAward's plan. He sees what's happening to his daughter. He turns. He gets help with Scott and Isaac. Chris, face to face with Derek, says he's not here for him, doesn't want to kill him. They all think that they are there to try to help Jackson. Derek wants to kill him. And lo and behold, JerAward shows up. A big showdown between the wolves and the Kinema with the theme music playing. JerAward reveals his plan. He's dying of cancer. We had a moment with Isaac and the vet and Scott when Werewolves can relieve some pain from people. They can't strip it away, but they can relieve it. And he did so with the dog, and they can smell the cancer and smell that they're dying. Something that Scott picked up on when he got stabbed by Gerard outside the hospital. So he's dying. He wants to bite. And Scott forces Derek to bite him, but black goo runs out. Scott could smell that he was dying a while back and swapped his pills with mountain ash in the police station. Gerard, dying, orders the kinema to kill them all. Stiles hits the kinema with his car, and Lydia shows the house key she never gave back. The key to Jackson, basically. Very poetic. Jackson turns half human, and Derek and Peter claw the shit out of him. Jackson dies yet again, but just for another moment. But he doesn't. He rises, and eyes are blue. He's an Omega. Allison breaks up with Scott, who says he'll wait for her. She says fate isn't real, and he says neither are werewolves. Touche. Scott helps Stiles make captain of the lacrosse team, it seems. The vet, Deaton, seemingly knows Gerard is still alive somewhere. No info on Jackson. Boyd and Erica are free, but surrounded by wolves. And Derek tells Isaac that when there is a new alpha, people take notice, and a pack of alphas is on their way. And that is a full season 2 recap. I failed to mention that because of her mom dying, Allison kind of went off the deep end, as any human would. Gerard kind of persuaded her to become evil, and that's why she had such a vendetta. She wanted to kill Derek, who's the reason that her mom is dead. Regardless, Derek is the reason, because he did bite her, but she could have lived as a wolf. She chose to take her own life. Now, I'm going to go through the JerAwards. I don't really have any pressing notes at the end of season 2. I liked it a lot. It was a lot better than season 1. The pacing was great. They did a lot of the Office, CSI camera movements, which I fucking hated for a minute. Some of the stuff still looks goofy. Gerard, I liked him at first, but he kind of overacted in some things. I enjoy all of our main characters. They did a really good job when Jackson was tied up in the van to give me a little bit of sympathy of them saying he has no friends, learning that he's adopted. He had the moment of him trying to find out his real parents, and they just had like a blank face. Maybe we get more exposition on that. Maybe we don't. There was no info about Jackson towards the end of the episode. He just stood and rised as an Omega. I don't know what that leads for him. I don't know what that leads for him and Lydia. His story was kind of open-ended right there. Stiles and Scott playing lacrosse together. No wolf stuff. He clearly turned his eyes yellow. Boyd and Erica with the new pack, perchance. Peter seems to be with Alpha. Isaac with him as well. So they have that little trio. I don't really know what's going on with Lydia at the moment either. I'm assuming in season 3 we get hit with a bunch of new people. That just makes the most sense. Like a whole shit ton of people, because it is 24 episodes. I imagine we introduced to a bunch and we deal with a lot. That's just my prediction. I'm excited to see more of Stiles and his dad. I really love them two together. And how Mama McCall deals with being a wolf mother. So let's get into the JerAwards for season 2. Favorite episode, your nominees. Episode 5, Venomous. Episode 8, Raving. Episode 9, Party Guest. Episode 10, Fury. 11, It's a Battlefield. Episode 12, the finale, Master Plan. My favorite episode of season 2, and your winner is episode 10, Fury. It's the police station episode where we get the full thing of Matt and his trauma and how it's turned him to what he is, and controlling the kinema and killing the innocent people at the police station, locking up Stiles, Papa Stalinsky, locking up Mama McCall, threatening shooting her son in front of him, them two duking it out, him having to reveal his secrets. There's where we get the swap with Gerard. Derek also sees that Scott was kind of working with Gerard, didn't know his master plan, hence episode 12. But it was a lot of pieces coming together. It was a really, really, really good episode. Coming off of Peter being resurrected too. Favorite scene, your nominees. Derek flexing his powers on Isaac, screaming to turn him back into human form. Season 2, episode 2. Episode 5, Allison poisoning Erica. Episode 8, Derek going to rescue Scott after he howled. Episode 11, Stiles scoring his first goal. Episode 12, Scott revealing his master plan. Or episode 12, Jackson rising as an Omega. It's actually a two-way tie almost, but I do have a winner. Allison poisoning Erica was a really, really badass scene. But my favorite scene of the entire season 2 and my favorite scene of the entire show so far was Derek using his alpha scream to turn little beta Isaac back into a human. That shit was sick. Most heartbreaking scene. Allison's dad telling Scott to stay away from his daughter, season 2, episode 1. Allison learning her mom passed away in episode 9. Also in episode 9, Stiles imagining his dad blaming him for his mother's death. Episode 10, Mama McCall watching her son be shot. Or episode 12, Papa Stalinsky looking for his son. For me, the most heartbreaking scene of this entire season was Stiles having that hallucination of his father blaming him for his mother's death, and his father kind of being drunk and yelling at him. Just to see the emotion from both actors and both characters, and how that mirage basically affected Stiles. My beard keeps getting wrapped up in the camera. Yeah, that was pretty rough. Funniest scene, took a little more notes this time, probably not as many as I can remember, but Stiles passing out after seeing Lydia naked, season 2, episode 1. In episode 3, the newfound, hold on. This newfound heroism, take 2. This newfound heroism makes me very attracted to you. Want to try making out? Stiles to Scott. Solid. Episode 6, man. Hold on. I gotta preface the scene. Scott, I think we're in a gay club. Man, nothing gets past those keen werewolf senses, huh? Episode 6, Chris shooting Jackson on fucking sight. Episode 8, Allison's mom staring at them after kissing. Episode 9, he's sober, old girl dunking him in the water. Episode 12, why do you get a shirt and I get a shoe? Isaac to Scott. My funniest scene of the entire season 2 is by far Scott saying, we're in a gay club. Stiles would be like, man, nothing gets past those keen werewolf senses, huh? Solid, 10 out of 10. Favorite kiss? Wow, you're not going to believe the nominees for this one. Season 2, episode 6, Allison and Scott making out in the car. Season 2, episode 8, Allison kissing Scott after he told her it was okay to kiss Matt. Episode 12, Allison and Scott's final kiss. And my favorite kiss of season 2 is Allison and Scott's final kiss, because it was super heartbreaking, and I didn't post this for some reason. I think I cut it by accident during the last time I did the season 1 recap. But my favorite kiss from season 1 was not their first kiss, but it was Scott and Allison's kiss after she accepted him as a wolf. Very powerful. Favorite kill, season 2, episode 1, Gerard killing the Omega homeless wolf, cutting him in half. Episode 7, the Kinema killing the Trailer Park Boys with his tail. Episode 8, the Kinema killing Kara. Or episode 9, Gerard drowning Matt. Initially it was Gerard drowning Matt, but then even though I did all that shitty stuff, there was a part of me that was like, man, that kid needed therapy. He's not innocent by any means. He deserved that shit. But I think my favorite kill was actually Gerard using goddamn an Excalibur blade to cut that Omega wolf in half. That shit was violent. But also the Kinema stabbing old girl in the neck, just fucking with his claw, just right there. Wicked. Favorite quote from season 2, episode 3, I don't want you to be normal. I want you to be alive. Allison to Scott. Episode 5, I thought you were psychic. Bitch. Allison to Erica. Also episode 5, I can see why you refuse to join my pack. You're already an alpha of your own pack. Derek to Scott. Episode 11, Coach Spaz quoting Independence Day for their pre-championship speech. And last but certainly not least, your last nominee is episode 12, Stiles to Lydia. Death doesn't happen to you. It happens to everyone around you as they figure out a way to live without you. Paraphrasing that, but still powerful. Initially, favorite scene was Allison paralyzing or using that shit on Erica. And then my favorite quote was definitely going to be, I thought you were psychic, bitch. Even though what Derek said to Scott was powerful, but Stiles saying that to Lydia, man, death doesn't happen to you. It happens to everyone around you. Bars. That's by far my favorite quote. Let's do least favorite character. I put 3 people up here. 3 of them. Jackson, Gerard, and Matt. By far, by a landslide, my least favorite character of this entire season was Matt. I just, actually, no. Yeah, no, I was gonna say Allison's mom. Sorry, Allison, I really don't give a shit. I'd say Matt. Yeah, I mean, he's creepy. He was taking pictures. He was killing people. But Allison's mom is a close second. She also kind of deserved to be hated. Favorite character, on the other hand, my nominees were Deaton, the vet, Lydia, Scott, and Styles. A first-time nominee would be Scott. I think Lydia too, and Deaton, all first-time nominees. Scott grew on me this season. He had a lot of character development that may not have been noticeable, but from an acting standpoint, so much better than season 1. Favorite character, back-to-back like a heart attack, run it back-to-back like Drake said, is Styles. Stilinski is my favorite character, back-to-back seasons. He's the only well, Scott and Allison are also back-to-back for favorite kisses, but they're doing great. Everybody's doing so good. All right, and to kind of go ahead and wrap this up, to put the final touches on this, to close out this video, is our in memoriam. Or no, we got to do this real quick. Hold on, where'd my file go? Favorite finale so far is still season 1. Season 1 had a way better finale in my opinion. Season 2 just kind of set everything up for season 3. Favorite season so far is season 2, simply put. Let's do our in memoriam. This is such a small list compared to the Vampire Diaries and the originals. All right, in memory, the homeless Omega Wolf, Isaac's dad, Mr. Leahy, creepy hunter guy, we later learned his name is Bennett, Sean, Jessica, Kara Simmons, Mama Argent, the 4 cops in the station, Matt, and I have Gerard with a question mark because I know he's not dead, but he's still here. Those peeps. Rest in peace. On to season number 3 of Teen Wolf. 24 episodes down, 24 to go for season number 3. In total, since we've watched 24 episodes, we have 76 left. 76. Hey, I'm ready if you all are. I'm excited to meet new characters, go on new adventures, maybe new love stories, maybe new kisses, more brutal kills, more of all the good shit, more death, destruction, and howling at the moon. On that note, that is the season 2 recap for Teen Wolf. I will see you for season 3, episode 1. As always, links and everything will be in the description box down below. Playlist will be up on screen. Stay cute, stay hydrated, and I will catch you on the next one.